Hello, wrestling fans. Hello, one and all, and welcome to the podcast the way you like it. This is Pot on the Mountain. I screwed up within the first 10 seconds. It's awesome when I screw up the intro and we have to screw this
Pop on
shit
the
up.
Mountain.
It's Pops on the Mountain. That's Ron
Yeah,
Wright.
but they're in the South, so this would be Soda on the Mountain.
Soda on the Mountain. It is myself, Nate Max, and of course my brother Aaron.
Hello, everybody.
And Mr. Chad Austin.
What's that?
This week we are
back together.
We are covering the week of April 1992 in Smoky Mountain
Wrestling.
Wrestling. What?
The month of April, not the week.
The month of April.
Jesus.
The day of
right.
The whole day of April. The year of April 1992.
Ron Wright Appreciation Day month.
Sick. We're gonna talk about Bob Caudle, and you're acting like Mike Adamle.
Just Harvey. You're making me crazy, Kofi Kingston.
He drove him through the picnic table. That's my favorite one that he said. Oh, he put him through the picnic table, Taz.
Taz really tried with Mike too, didn't he? He really tried.
Yeah.
He gave it the old fucking college try working with Adam Lee. Maybe I'll let Aaron host this week's show since I fucking apparently I'm tripping over my fucking tongue.
I don't know about all that.
I think at some point Taz gave up with Adelaide, whatever his name is, Adelaide, and just started having fun with him.
You know what I mean? Pretty much. Yeah, it's kind of like you could either do that, or you could do the shit that Gorilla Monsoon and Randy Savage did with Art Donovan at King of the Ring '94 and just ignore the fucking guy.
You can't ignore Mike Adamle when he's the play-by-play guy. Like.
A lot of Taz going anyway.
Yeah, like you said, like I said, it's the month of April 1992. Something I wanted to bring back, or not really bring back, but bring to this show. And if it's the same month to month, I won't bring it up. But when we did our Clash series, it was fun doing the top 2 movies, top 2 songs that were of that week. But since we're doing the month, and like I said, it's like it helps you kind of get like a little time capsule or a little thought of like what was going on in popular culture. So
we're not going to play the Amazon game, are we? Bix?
No.
We're not going to do that.
I'm just gonna tell you guys what the 2 movies were and the 2 songs. If you got anything on it, you can say it.
And we also won't drag it out for half an hour like Bix would either.
So the top 2 movies in April 1992, top 2 grossing movies, are 2 totally different movies.
Oh, can I guess?
You can, yeah.
Pretty Woman, one of them?
No.
All right, then I'm lost. It was on during dinner, so
you should guess Pretty Woman every month.
Okay.
Nate, you want to try?
April 92. Shit. No, I don't.
All right. Well, the top 2 movies were Basic Instinct. That was number 1.
Oof.
And then the number 2 movie, like I said, it's 2 totally different movies. The number 2 movie, Beethoven.
The dog or the composer?
The movie Beethoven with the dog. So the number 1 movie was Sharon Stone's Vagina, and the number 2 movie was Charles Grodin.
Charles Grodin's dog.
Charles Grodin's dog.
I think that's the only part of Basic Instinct anybody ever saw with Sharon Stone's vagina. Is that what you mean, gross? You mean gross as in money, or you mean gross?
Money. And the only thing I remember about Beethoven is Charles Grodin.
Bunch of people. That fucking Basic Instinct movie was really, really beneficial for Arby's.
The roast beef.
But anyway,
beef.
I do. God, I barely remember that fucking Beethoven shit. I remember the dog itself, but I don't know.
Charles Grodin.
Charles Grodin.
I like Charles Grodin. I'll just say I like Charles Grodin. But If anybody wants to try to guess the songs,
Belinda
Yeah.
Carlisle. Something with her.
huh?
Something with Belinda Carlisle.
No.
Something with is there a Vanessa Williams song?
Yes. It's Save the Best for Last.
That's it. That's the one I was thinking of.
What is the answer?
Which was the number one song in April was Save the Best for Last. And then coming up from behind was Eric Clapton with Tears in Heaven.
Oh.
Fucking 92 sucked.
Especially for Eric Clapton's kid.
Yeah, which is the old joke. What's the difference between a big bag of cocaine and a baby? Eric Clapton wouldn't let a big bag of cocaine fall out of a window.
Damn.
Jesus. That's funny though.
I've never heard any of them songs.
Well,
On
there
that
you go,
note,
folks. Set the tone. This is the first episode, and I think what I'm going to do here is I'll introduce the segments, and then you guys can expound on what you thought about the segments or the matches. I know some of the matches are squash matches. I just noticed when I listened to the last episode or the first couple of episodes, as we're going through, we were stepping all over each other. So I'm going to intro the segment or intro whatever it is, the match or whatever, and then I'll let you guys give your thoughts on it if you have any. Like I said, some of the squash matches and stuff we can just go, it was a squash match. But we come on, of course, our hosts for this show are Bob Cottle and Dutch Mantell. April 4th, 1992. They start us out. Dutch Mantell talks about how he's going to be having a match with Brian Lee later on tonight. I believe it's a wild card tournament match as we head toward the Volunteer Slam. And he talked to set the stage for his commentary throughout the whole episode. Obviously, he talks about the match and Brian Lee throughout the whole episode, just to set the stage there.
Chad muted himself.
Chad, you're muted. Now you're not muted.
Buddy.
You're no longer muted.
Well, this was at the first I was going to say this was at the Civic Coliseum. They announced it as the Civic Coliseum studio. It wasn't in the ballroom like per se where Ron Fuller shot his USA wrestling at. I'm trying to figure out where it was at.
Does it have just as an example, and I don't know,
basement?
Does the Knoxville Coliseum have, because Aaron and I go to the Fort Wayne Allen County Coliseum for a lot of the shows since we live near Fort Wayne, Indiana, and the Coliseum actually has the main Coliseum, like where the hockey players play. That's how I always say you can judge WWE's business by which part of the arena they're in, because they have the big hockey arena, and then they have like 3 little quote unquote expo centers that have less seats. That have less seats in them. So maybe there's like a couple of those expo centers at the Knoxville Coliseum, possibly.
Well, because this is 92, and I think it was redone like a few years after this. Like I think it was like 96 or 97 is when they redone the whole entire complex. So I was there before. I just don't remember it having like a whole bunch of other rooms. Like I know they had the ballroom, which was where Ron Fuller shot his TV at. So maybe it was just a different name for the same place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They called it the Civic Coliseum Studio, and Fuller called his was the Knoxville Civic Coliseum Grand Ballroom.
Or maybe it's just a garage on the premises. I don't know.
Fuller's was.
But we can't park the Zamboni in here tonight. The wrestling's going on. Our first match on this episode is Barry Horowitz versus the debuting Dixie Dynamite. As you would expect in Southern wrestling, Dixie Dynamite.
And my first note is this should definitely be a gimmick they bring back now. I mean, it'd be over, right?
Barry Horowitz? I mean, what's going on in the world? I mean, seriously. Is that what you mean?
Bring Dixie Dynamite back now. I'm sure there won't be any hostilities or anger whatsoever.
Yeah, because we live in the most peaceful age we've ever had in this country.
Everybody's
getting along.
This match has international incident written all over it. Just between the Jew and Barry Horowitz and the Dixie Dynamite. Fuck. Who knew that Cornette was foreshadowing the world?
Any particular notes or anything on this matchup, guys?
Just that like you said, Dutch is talking shit about Brian Lee during the match. And then Bob Caudle actually had a good call. I thought it was interesting. Like during the match, Barry Horowitz rolls up Dixie Dynamite and uses the ropes. Like he grabs the rope for leverage, and the ref sees it and stops it. And Caudle actually brought up a good point, and he said, I think Barry Horowitz probably would have pinned him if he wouldn't have grabbed the rope. Like that was dumb. Like I think he had him, but he cheated and got caught. You know, like I just thought that was kind of a cool. I never really heard a commentator say that before. Like, oh, grabbing that rope was dumb. I think he had him.
I mean, Bob Caudle being the classic babyface. Like he was calling it right down the middle for Barry Horowitz too. Yeah, he could have beat Dixie Dynamite. You know, Barry Horowitz cheated most of the match. But he just could have pinned them. He just could have pinned them at the leverage of the rope.
And also, like the thing I noticed is, and I think Cornette knew what he obviously had with Barry. Like he's used Barry with these guys that he's wanting to kind of leverage as his quote unquote top guys. Like, oh, I'm gonna have Brian Lee be my top guy. All right, he's gonna work with Barry because he worked with Barry last week. All right, Dixie Dynamite's coming. We're gonna put him with Barry because I know Barry's gonna do right by these guys. You know what I mean?
Like Cornette wasn't stupid. He knew that he couldn't. That he really wasn't going to be able to push Barry Horowitz based upon Barry Horowitz already TV exposure for what he already was. Mm-hmm. So, but he's definitely what you call a good hand anyway. So I mean, he's working with Scott Armstrong for fucking Christ's sake. You know what I mean? Yeah. It wasn't going to be a bad match.
And it was a good match. A good match to get Dixie Dynamite over in his debut. He wins with the Confederate kick. And then
2026, baby. Bring back Dixie Dynamite.
I know Dutch Mantel was full of facts during this match, wasn't he? Like, I mean, even he was like spitting out all kinds of facts about Barry Horowitz, about his credentials and like all. I mean, they actually really made Barry Horowitz sound like he was something, and that's just like he's Barry Horowitz. Seriously, Dutch.
Then Bob Armstrong tells us that here, in Smoky Mountain, we don't do the drugs. He didn't say it. He didn't say we don't do the drugs like they do up in the WWF, but he pretty much alluded to it.
He said we don't need big jacked up bodies. We don't care if we don't care if you're like roly poly and this, that, and everything. Yeah, right. We don't do steroids here. Like he said steroids. Like we don't do it.
I'm just glad that Bob Armstrong didn't cut the same PSA like 2 years later, like when Candido was there and Tammy and Jake and Eddie. Like, could you imagine Bob Armstrong coming out? Yeah, we don't do all that stuff here.
And by the way, here's Jake Roberts.
we don't do drugs here. We don't do drugs here, even though we got Jimmy Del Rey and Buddy Landell.
Yeah, you get a Jake Roberts farts and you get a contact high.
They don't do them there. They do them in the car. That's what he was meaning.
Maybe Tim Horner should do some drugs so he gets some creativity.
Speaking of bumblefuck Tim Horner, in the next match he defeats TJ Travis. I put Horner wins. That's enough. I don't have anything else on that.
I do have a note. Tim Horner hugs an old fat lady as he's coming out, and Dutch Mantel says it takes a lot of guts to hug that woman. And then there's like a little pause, and Bob Caudle's like, "Oh man, you know that's somebody's mama, don't you?"
I not one time during any of these shows did I write the name Tim Horner. Can you guess what name I wrote down based upon our previous podcasts that we have done before. It wasn't Tim Horner. It was fucking Tommy Dreamer. I got sick of seeing Tim Horner already. he had just come out. Like, because I didn't do last month's show. So I didn't see him. And I'm already sick of seeing him.
Man,
Like,
I love the fact I love when Dutch was like, takes a lot of guts to hug that woman, and Bob was like, "Oh, Dutch, that's somebody's mama." That's so funny.
We have some of the localized promos talking about the Volunteer Slam with Brian Lee, Tim Horner, and Robert Gibson. Another segment with Jim Cornette failing to introduce us to his new tag team that's coming in for the tag team tournament. This time around, Phil Rainey is at a hotel.
Like a Ramada or something.
He says he doesn't, and he's, for some reason, he's got that stupid Dick Tracy trench coat on, but he's like, I don't want this to get ruined again. And of course it does.
Yeah, they open up the door and just a bunch of women are in there.
What the hell was that? It reminded me of like when Mr. Roper went to buy that property and like Arizona or something, and he had to stay overnight, and he was going to have buy a lake or whatever, and in the room next door it was all a scam, and the guy comes in to trying to get Roper to sign the the paper for the property, and he brought like a bunch of hookers with him. Like,
well, that's what I was going to say. They missed an opportunity because they could have been like, "Oh, Rainey, you didn't get to see the tag team again." And Rainey could have just went rats.
Right. They should have had him coming out of a hotel room with his tie all disheveled, his shirt all untucked, and you know what I mean, and a lipstick stain on his cheek. Jobber.
I didn't get the tag team, but I did get an STD.
A handy.
Got a rub and tug.
Then speaking of rub, we get
here comes
Bob Caudle interviewing Killer Kyle, and my favorite dynamic so far in Smoky Mountain Wrestling is that Bob Caudle is just totally confused about Killer Kyle. Like, he's just, every time anybody brings up Killer Kyle, he's like, this dude is weird, man.
He's weird. He's weird, man. He's got weird music.
He's got weird music. He's got that violin case. I don't know what's going on with him, man. This dude,
he said, like, I wonder what's in that violin case.
I don't know. It's
like
Bob Caudle weird.
Bob Caudle says this dude is weird, man. Like, so many, like, he's just like, I never thought I'd hear Bob Caudle say the word dude.
This dude is weird, man.
So Bob tries to interview him and he gets nothing out of him. And then they come back and.
So what's your thought on Killer Kyle, though? Like
he's weird,
as a character overall.
Weird.
I like Killer Kyle. He is weird, but like, I like Killer Kyle. I think he's a cool character. And I kind of know, I kind of think what Cornette was trying to do with it was trying to establish him as like this silent big guy. And if I remember later on with Smoky Mountain, I feel like he's trying to create himself a Big Bubba.
A Big Bubba. I got you. I just wonder if anybody in the area like caught on to like who he was from like WCW and shit.
Yeah, because he did do Saturday nights and all that. Like,
I liked it. I thought it was I thought it was a good gimmick. I wish they could have like sped up the process of doing something with him a little faster.
Well, he defeats. I did not write his opponent down here.
Keith Hart.
The fake Keith Hart.
Keith Hart. Yes, there we go. The fake Keith Hart.
World famous from the Hart Foundation, from the Hart Dungeons.
So Killer
He's
Kyle,
not the fireman.
Killer Kyle rubs one out there, and
yeah, Killer Kyle's move is the rub out,
which is weird, man.
Disgusting. That's weird, man.
We have the becoming increasingly angry Paul Orndorff next. And like Aaron alluded to on the last episode, it's fun watching from week to, and I know we're gonna hit a crescendo here in this week, but on this episode, but it's been fun watching him progressively get more and more pissed off as the weeks have gone on in Smoky Mountain.
Like he comes in as a happy baby face and he's good with the people, and then like he finds out you can't use her pile driver. He's like, what? And like as the month went on, it's just more and more he's just getting pissed off. And then he finds out he's a wild card in the tournament, and he's like stuck in there with fucking Danny Davis, Hector Guerrero, and Dixie Dynamite. And he's like, what the fuck? It's like, why am I with these fucking clowns? But anyway, I think that's later to come. But anyway.
Yeah, seriously,
in this episode,
how cool was it that Cornette had access to Paul Orndorff, who only lived like a couple hours away?
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of lucked out with that one, didn't he?
He did. He did. The fact of where he lives, and at the time he wasn't signed with one of the big two, so he had the time and to go do it. This interview is pretty much he's just salty about not being able to use the pile driver. We haven't gotten to the tournament thing yet, but that's coming up.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. And then we have the man who vanquished the Black Scorpion, Paul Miller, against the Dirty White Boy in the next match.
Paul Miller can say he has a victory over the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Yes, he beat Ric Flair
or Al Perez. I'm not sure which one. But.
Or the Angel of Death.
Well, we just don't know.
Didn't you miss like the part where, or maybe I missed that? But what about when Bob Armstrong was going over all the ways that the heels can win matches by cheating?
I remember. You know what?
He gave you all the Smoky Mountain rules, which basically is telling you ahead of time how all the babyfaces are going to be fucked.
This is how all. Just so you know, this is how we're fucking all the baby faces in this country.
I just laughed at it when I was like, "They're giving you the rules." You know what I mean? Like,
literally, I know it's cliche, but it's literally in wrestling. Rules are made to be broken. That's the reason they're there. It's
and of all people, Bob Armstrong's telling you how to. You know what I mean? Like the number one good guy of all time, Bob Armstrong. He should have been smoking a cigarette. like when he was like yelling Southeastern, going over the room.
Instead of pens in his pocket protector, he's got smokes.
He just adjusted his clip-on tie.
What would he smoke? Paul Malls?
Oh yeah, unfiltered, totally.
Paul Malls, Jarrells,
Camels, man. Camels are hard stuff.
It's just a cigarette that doesn't exist anymore. It's got to be like a Jarrell.
I could just see Bob Armstrong just getting pissed off and getting ready to cut a major promo, and he grabs a pack out of his pocket and just starts packing it. Like he's just getting fired up. Like, oh, when I bring out this cigarette, it's like Jerry Lawler pulling down the strap.
when I get out the cigarette that I put in the pack upside down, I'm pissed.
The gimmick.
But yeah, after the Dirty White Boy dispatches of Paul Miller, get a great promo from Ron Wright. He's a bitching and a hollering about how he can't get no money to pay his bills. He's hillbilly rednecks. I love hillbilly rednecks. Him and Dirty White Boy talk about the fact that Brian Lee will be facing Dirty White Boy in the tournament, and I love the line. Did anybody else write down Dirty White Boy's line about Brian Lee?
Horsehead.
Who'd you ever beat, Horsehead?
Who'd you ever beat, Horsehead? Did you ever work any shows?
Dummy.
Did you ever work any shows with Tony Anthony, Chad?
One, Smoky Mountain.
I don't think Chad.
I worked two of them, but one of the ones was we had separate locker rooms, so I didn't get to talk to him.
So, Chad, last month you weren't here. I told Aaron the story, and I think you'll think it's funny too. So I'm going to retell the story. I'm sorry to listeners if you've already heard it. Okay. I was born in 1978. Poor black child. No. Aaron and I grew up in Ohio. So through our kid years, teen years, we got TBS. So we got WCW, we got WWF. We got to see some Smoky Mountain. We went to visit our grandma in Tennessee. But I didn't get to watch like old Mid-Atlantic and shit until the internet came around, right? So we're talking like maybe like 99, between 99 and 2002 is when I finally got to start watching really old stuff from before I was even a wrestling fan. All right. I'm getting to a point, I promise. One of the funniest fucking things in the history of my life was when I first watched like 1982 Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling in like 2002. And I saw Tony Anthony with that fucking afro.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that's not the dirty white boy Tony Anthony, is it? Look at that afro, man.
He had that afro. He's Tony Anthony.
And it wasn't quite blonde. It had like a reddish tint to it.
Yeah. He had a big red tooth.
It was like Eddie Gilbert's dad.
I thought he looked like Fatty Arbuckle. He should have had a big red nose.
Yeah, man. The first time I ever saw Tony Anthony with the afro, it popped me. I was like, no shit.
Yeah, that was him, man. That was totally him.
Standing there in front of that shitty green screen. But anyway.
And eventually somebody said, you got to get a Jerry curl, man.
Oh, yeah.
You can't be the dirty white boy with an afro.
Here's where my show went to UWF.
And Brian Lee comes out, goes face to face with Anthony. And then the matchup next is Dutch Mantell versus Brian Lee. Did anybody else notice that the screen read up next, Dutch Mandel?
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was like he's on the fucking show he's on the whole hour, and you fucking can't, you put the wrong name up. Yeah, Dutch Mandel, like he's Howie's brother.
He comes out with a glove on his fucking head, blowing it up.
He does funny voices.
Deal or no deal?
Comes after the theme of Bobby's World.
Did anybody else's episode of this cut off before they played this match?
Yeah, whoever posts these, he didn't have the rest of it. So I looked it up. And what I looked up, obviously Brian Lee won the match. I didn't have a finish for it, but Brian Lee wins.
I was just wondering why the hell Jim Ross and Michael Hayes was doing the commentary. Because, like I said, mine. I don't know how I didn't watch whatever the one you watched, but right during before that match even started, it went right into a UWF show, and I'm just like thinking, like, I thought they were going to show like a clip or something, you know. And I'm just like, wait a minute, this is the whole Bill Watts show. So I missed that. But that was the end, right?
Yes, that was April 4th, 1992. It was a serviceable episode of the show. It was the end of that. It was the end of that TV taping, I believe, because I think the next one we're on to a new taping.
This would have been the actual second month of Smoky Mountain, right? The existence.
Yes.
Okay, so we're still in. We haven't established. Clearly, we haven't established a title yet. We get to that coming up. So we're basically still into introducing the characters. That's what we're doing now.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's what I missed last month.
In this shit right now.
So last month I pretty much missed the introduction of Smoky Mountain. Now it's the characters. All right.
Yeah. We're still in the. If we're gonna phrase it out, anything else, this is the Cabrini-ish time of Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Steve Wonderful's still there.
His hair would fit in.
Dirty boys.
The next episode, April 11th, 1992.
The Herbie Hancock High School.
Yep.
Sneedville, Tennessee. Chad, you ever been to Sneedville?
No, dude. I think it's I want to say it's kind of like a suburb of in Knoxville. Like it's my mom said it's about like 40 miles, but she tells me everything's 40 miles. Like, because I found out that Jimmy Gold lives in Maryville here. And I said, oh my God, I just found out Jimmy Gold lives in Maryville. I said, Mom, isn't that kind of close? She goes, yeah, about 40 miles. I was like, all right, whatever.
See, here in Ohio, everything's by minutes or hours. Ohio people don't use miles. Like people be like, "Oh, where's that?" Like, oh, that's an hour away. Or
that's what I'm used to. I'm used to that. I don't know. I guess because it's all country. I guess I don't know how they do that, but yeah, just no miles.
Well, of course, this show is introed April 11th, 92, introed by Bob Caudle and Dutch Mantell again. Carl Styles is back, and he's there with Dutch Mantell looking like an inflated Bill Dundee.
And this is going to be Bob Caudle's second thing that he's worried about. Like, he thinks Killer Kyle's weird, but he is really fixated on where Carl Styles was. Like,
yes, where has Carl Styles been?
Where'd he go, man?
Where'd he go, man? Where you been? You been hanging around that?
Where you been?
Been hanging around that weird dude?
And Dutch is like, don't worry about where he been, man.
What do you think's worse? The reveal of where Carl Styles has been, or Danhausen? Like the crate. They built a crate up for 4 weeks, and it's Danhausen. They built up where the fuck Carl Styles has been for 4 weeks. He's in fucking jail for a speeding ticket. I was like, why even bother with the reveal if you're just going to say
you just spoiled it, but we'll go ahead.
Well, we're finally this week going to be able to meet Jim Cornette's new tag team because they will be in the main event against the Batten Twins in the tournament.
Wow.
And our first match, Hollywood Bob Holly over Ben Jordan.
The mega mullet.
I don't have a lot to say about the match itself, but Fame by David Bowie actually is like a cool fucking theme. Claudio used it in Ring of Honor too. Like it's a good fucking song for a wrestler.
Well, I thought it was going to be Rip Rogers. That was his gimmick. That's how I know the song. He used it in ICW.
I think that between the last taping and this taping, somebody told Bob Holly to lose the mustache because I think he got rid of the mustache. The mustache wasn't working. They were like, lose the mustache. You look like a fucking pedophile.
Yeah. You're a lot less Hollywood and a little more.
Yeah. You don't have the
you're not very Hollywood and you're more like Astrovan. Like you need to get rid of
Yeah, but I mean, going back to when we first started the show and you were going over about the pop culture references, and the show is old when they're putting over Julia Roberts as being like a hot actress.
He didn't have a good mustache. He had like a whispery mustache, and it makes me think of like Lucky from King of the Hill, like when Peggy's like, "Don't have a whispery mustache. Don't have a whispery mustache," and then he turns around, she's like, "Oh, he's got a whispery mustache." He looked like Lucky from King of the Hill with his fucking mustache.
He's got them choppers too, man. Fuck.
That's what I'm saying. He's Lucky from King of the Hill.
I mean, Bob Holly's lucky this was 1992 with that hair.
Sure is lucky.
Everything about him. And he spoke 1992 right there, man.
Well, he defeats Ben Jordan with a knee drop. And then Bob Caudle.
Star drop, brother. It's the star drop.
The star drop. I'm sorry.
That name sucked for finish.
Bob Caudle introduces us to the Koloffs who have returned. They have paid the
maternity
$500 fine. Yes,
they're back from maternity leave.
As we mentioned last month, the Jimmy Golden said that they had returned to Russia because both of their wives were having babies.
Yeah, Chad, you didn't.
Which is one of the greatest excuses for a heel not to show up ever.
Yeah,
both their wives are having babies.
They couldn't get the Koloffs for one taping, so they just had fucking Jimmy Golden go out there and say the Koloffs had to go back to Russia because both their wives were having babies.
I would much rather hear that than use the old 80s excuse of the Kremlin.
Yeah,
the Kremlin. Yeah. I was like, dude, you told me the whole. Like for a decade, probably, I thought the Kremlin was like one person. Like I was just wondering who the fuck is this Kremlin guy that they keep sending Ivan Koloff home to? What the fuck?
But yeah, they're back. They paid their $500 fine. Bob Armstrong talks about the Volunteer Slam coming up, and then he discusses the talent exchange between Smoky Mountain Wrestling and Japan.
Okay.
Do they mention a promotion in Japan, a specific promotion? Because I didn't write it down.
They just say Japan.
So they're what do you think their sister promotion in Japan was?
Wing?
Or do you know? It was Wing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Killer Kyle had already done he had already done a tour over there. I know Killer Kyle did, and I want to say Danny Davis had already worked for Wing anyway. But I know Killer Kyle, Danny Davis, and later on, not like he leaves for a little while, but Bob Holly has a tour of Wing too.
Okay. The next matchup on this show is a tag championship tournament match. It is the Koloffs against. He's not Nightmare. You may have known him as Nightmare, but Nitro.
You might have known me as Nightmare, but I'm not Nightmare anymore. You people are gonna know me. I'm now Nitro. I'm Nitro Danny Davis. And Nitro comes in a small package. And I'm gonna explode because I ain't Nightmare no more. I'm Nitro, and you know me from around this area. Every fucking promo.
Every promo,
motherfucker. This little motherfucker.
Well, it is Nitro Danny Davis against the fire hydrant Joey Maggs.
They're both fire hydrants.
And not against, I'm sorry, it's Davis and Maggs against the Koloffs in the tag championship tournament.
It's like the Koloffs versus fucking Sky Lolo and fucking
Baltimore's own Joey Maggs.
Lord Littlebrook.
You know how like Jimmy Seafood's like the Ribera Steakhouse of like the United States?
It's the Kremlin versus the Gremlins.
Like Joey Maggs is from Baltimore, but even he's so much of a jobber, like he can't even get like the Ribera treatment at Jimmy Seafood. He wouldn't even get a Jimmy Seafood jacket or t-shirt. No crab cake for you, Jabron. And he actually lived like right down the street from it.
They're like, here comes Maggs again. Or I'm sorry, here comes Magaglione or whatever the fuck his real last name is.
Magaglione.
I think that's it. I think his name's actually like Joey Magaglione or some shit.
He never jumped. I've never seen the guy jump.
Jumping Joey never jumps.
But you made it sound like it's a disease. you got the Maglione disease. His whole body's ridden with Maglionius.
Oh man, I should have taken these wet socks off.
now my feet's got the Magliones.
I got the Magliones to these fucking beach socks. But anyway,
tell us about the match, Aaron.
It's a tag team tournament match. I don't have much on it. It's not Jumping Joey Maggs and not Nightmare Danny Davis versus the Koloffs. The Fantastics come out and they distract the Koloffs, which help the little guys beat the Russians, and they advance in the tournament. And the only other note I have is that I think it's and I don't want to get too much into the weeds, but I just don't think Uncle Ivan gets celebrated as much as he should in the business. But yeah, the match itself, it was what it was, and it kept the Fantastics Koloffs feud going on.
Wait a minute, did you skip over the Tim Horner ad for the gay bar? Was that next or before that? I had a star next to it.
Was that one of the localized things where they just have the guys talking about the upcoming show? Because if that was the case, sometimes I don't write those down because they repeat them a lot, but I know which one you're talking about.
Oh, it was Tim Horner, it was Bobby Fulton, Jackie Fulton, Brian Lee, all out there, and I was just waiting to hear "It's Raining Men." I was just waiting. I was like,
they have repeat promos of those fellas.
It's like This is about to get as gay as the Steve Kern Stan Lane videos.
Oh, right on. I'm just glad nobody
Cuddles,
walked in the room when I was watching it.
Bob Cuddle's really uncomfortable with it.
Oh, he was.
But yeah, like Aaron said, the Davis and Mags win that match, and again the Fantastics help them to keep that feud going. And now here comes Bob. Here comes Bob. He is harping about where's Carl Styles been? Where you been, Carl Styles? Where were you?
And
you
he will
weren't
not
here.
answer.
And he does
don't
not
spoil
answer.
it, guys.
He keeps mums the word on that. They show us the footage from Dirty White Boy and Brian Lee last week. Then Bob Caudle and Dutch Mantell are with Ron Wright. And I always like to write down things that he says just because, like this time he's people picking on I'm a poor old feeble man up in my years. And he says he's had to because of the fines that he was
to switch to generic medicines.
He's had to switch to generic heart medicine.
Yeah, he's got generic. Like he's at the farm and he's like, I need the generic. I can't get Lunesta or whatever. Like
fucking God bless Ron Wright. What a fucking talent.
I'm out here and these stupid hillbilly rednecks, they won't send me the money and I gotta go ahead and I gotta get on the generic heart medicine. It's just so gosh dang terrible. I just can't believe it.
I'm gonna say it again. I'm just a poor old feeble man up in my years.
Just a poor old man. And I love the fact that his blanket keeps getting bigger. He's got on his legs. Like it started out, he had no blanket, and then he just had like a little towel, and then it went like to his knees, and it's like slowly getting closer and closer to his fucking ankles. Why do wheelchair people always put a blanket on their legs?
I mean, I don't know the actual answer. I don't know a whole lot of wheelchair people.
Yeah. But yeah, I love the fact that he's got to switch to generic.
Dude, I avoid the wheelchair people like they had the Maglionis. I zip right past them. Get out of here, you bunch of Maglionis.
Up next, we're gonna have. I would say. I mean, I know there's been some storyline advancements and things, but I would say this is probably the first big hardcore, not hardcore, but you know what I mean, heavy angle that they're doing here in Smoky Mountain.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about.
Bob Caudle is standing by. He has Hector Guerrero, Dixie Dynamite, and Mr. Wonderful.
And the wild cards.
The wild cards in this tournament situation.
And
I love that Hector and Dixie Dynamite. Yeah, because he is silent. He is fucking silent. He says nothing until
he's just staring at these rubes.
He's just staring at these fucking idiots. He is so much better than these fucking idiots. He's just
looking at fucking Scott Armstrong and emancipated Eddie Guerrero. What the fuck is going on?
I'm a fucking Sombrero Guerrero and Dixie Dynamite over
Guerrero
here.
And
Hector Gomez.
Hector's wearing Ron Wright's blanket.
Yeah, Orndorff is just seething as these two men are talking about what an honor it is to be considered for this tournament. And then he's just like, I have had it with this fucking shit.
I've had enough of this shit.
I could be... in all honesty, Paul Orndorff could beat the shit out of both them guys at the same time.
He's like, I could beat both of you rutabagas together. You fucking moron.
I just can't get over. I just can't get over the fact that Nate, you actually caught like the disgust, like almost like Jim Cornette didn't smarten Paul Orndorff up to what was going on. Like he just told him to go out there and do a promo with Hector Guerrero and Sockface. Like just go out there, and I just want to see the look on your face when you're cutting the promo about these two fucking hambos.
But yes, that's
it was priceless.
Orndorff heals on these guys. Hector's like, don't be running us down or whatever, Mang. And anyway, they wind up, it's going to be Paul Orndorff versus Hector Guerrero. And actually, they have a pretty good fucking match here, of course.
Right.
Before the shit hits the fan. But yeah, Orndorff and Hector, I put down here, have a good match. Go ahead, Aaron.
The one note I have is this is the Smoky Mountain debut of Mark Curtis. So as far as I know, this would be the TV debut of Mark Curtis. So
yeah, new referee.
Yep. They mentioned that. There's our new referee, Mark Curtis. But yeah, Paul Orndorff, he's fucking sick of these rutabagas, and he's gonna beat one of them up. And he ends up pulling Hector Guerrero's tights and pinning him 1, 2, 3. And then a bunch of other rutabagas come out, and Paul Orndorff pile drives all of them.
Yes,
and it's Chavo. It's Hector Guerrero. Who's the Jordan guy?
Ben Jordan.
Ben Jordan, Reno Riggins, and Joey Maggs.
Yes. And with Reno Riggins, you have to pile drive him really hard to get through the hair, the hair helmet. But yeah,
right. I'm just still looking at this whole entire segment as if it was a shoot. It's like just the disgust of Paul Orndorff that he has to go out there and do a promo with Hector and a stupid ass Scott Armstrong, and then go into the ring and beat up some jabroni, and then he gets so pissed off that he just starts dropping everybody with their head.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck?
And then to put
taking out the entire Lollipop Guild. Like,
to put the Ike Turner stank on it, he pile drives Hector onto a chair.
Oof.
And then Dixie Dynamite comes out. He did not come out and eat one of the pile drivers. He came out after everything, after the dust had settled. Dixie Dynamite.
It's funny because he wasn't even in the back. If you look at it, like they left him at the commentating desk. So he was like 2 feet away, and he was just watching all his little.
It's like my daddy
friends.
My daddy didn't raise no dummy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a Darrell and just watch this shit.
Yeah, Mr. Wonderful seemed awful angry. He seemed awful angry.
I'm just gonna watch this one from afar, guys. If you need my match game tied tight.
Regardless of, and that's what we do here. Regardless of the jokes, this was very effective segment. Between again Orndorff snapping and the pile drivers and putting that over, and this was I really enjoyed this. This was good shit.
Oh yeah, it was a highlight.
And then up next, it is the debut of Jim Cornette's team. It is the Batten Twins versus, of course, it is revealed to be Stan Lane and Tom Pritchard, the Heavenly Bodies.
Frankenstein.
I kind of forgot that it was Pritchard and Lane. I had automatically had it in my mind that it was Jimmy Del Rey, and I was just thinking like, oh my god, like this is gonna be when they were talking about the debut of the tag team. I'm thinking Jimmy Del Rey, like they put like that kind of emphasis on Jimmy Del Rey.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask you guys. Is both of you like which one, like which do you prefer? Like I know when we talk about like Midnights or whatever. So just when you gotta talk about like the bodies, like which one do you prefer? Do you prefer Pritchard and Lane or Pritchard and Del Rey?
Definitely Pritchard and Stanfield Lane. I love when they call him Stanfield.
Stanfield.
The only wrestler to be trained by Ric Flair, by the way.
I also prefer Pritchard and Lane as a team. Not that I like Pritchard and Del Rey as a team too. Don't get me wrong, but if you got a gun to my head and you're telling me to choose a Heavenly Bodies team, I'm going to choose Pritchard and Lane.
Part of me likes Del Rey because like it's like he didn't have a heavenly body, you know. Like he looked like a pervert, so it's kind of like I like that.
He looked like a pervert.
Easy. Yeah, he is he was the pervert, but
Oh,
like I like kind of like the skeezy gigolo gimmick, like where he'd like grind and shit, and he's like, ugh, like, that was
think about
funny.
the thing about Jimmy Del Rey was he looks like every stereotype that you think that he is.
Yeah.
He looks like a pedophile. Looks like a rapist. He looks like a drug addict.
That guy was such a pervert. He got Tatanka fired just because he was in the room.
He just reminds me of somebody would hanging out in a white van with Buddy Rhodes. When Buddy Rhodes is in the back of the van jacking off. There's Jimmy Del Rey diddling a 14-year-old.
But Buddy Rose is wearing a mask for no reason.
the goggle mask. Oh yeah. I just imagine Jimmy Del Rey pulling up to the building in a white panel van. It's smoking and shit. It's got like a window in the back.
It's like, why's he got Buddy Rose, Jason, and Hard-Bardy Harrison with him?
Holy shit. Hard-Bardy Harrison. Damn. That's a deep pull right there. I didn't even know if you knew about that shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, the Heavenly Bodies, of course, win that match. They're advancing in the tournament. We get a promo from Cornette and the Bodies to end this episode. And like I said, another good episode. Oh, go ahead, Aaron.
I was going to say, if you wanted a recap of who's advanced in the tournament, I could tell you that.
Sure.
So we had the Maulers.
Who they were.
They defeated the Riches.
Who were the Maulers? Were they with the first month?
Jack Victory and Rip Morgan.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, they just call them the Maulers? I just thought it was fucking Cruel Connection.
No.
Just two fucking hams under a hood.
But they defeated the Riches. The Fantastics defeated the Wild Bunch. The Lollipop Guild defeated the Koloffs. And we've just now seen the Heavenly Bodies beating the Battens. This was the end of the Koloffs, right? Because this is when Vladimir goes to Japan, right? The Koloffs they stick around for a little bit.
I know he was a wing guy too. Yeah, Vladimir was a wing guy too. I remember that.
So yeah, the second round of the tournament's going to be the Maulers and the Fantastics, and then the Guild versus the Heavenly Bodies. That's what's coming up.
The next episode of the show, April 18th, 1992. Bob Caudle, Dutch Mantel do the intro. Carl Stiles is at the desk standing behind them. And the opening match is Robert Gibson going over Rip Rogers.
Well, you forgot to mention that they did mention that this is going to be Buddy Landel, his debut, and Carl Stiles is going to face Dixie Dynamite. I want to put that out there.
In the tournament wild card match. Yes.
Yeah.
The infamous tournament.
We got Rip Rogers, like you said, Rip Rogers versus Robert Gibson.
Oh, Rip Rogers can't get a break, can he? He can't even get pushed at Smoky Mountain.
Well, Dutch claims he went to high school with John Mellencamp, not Dutch himself, but Rip Rogers.
Okay. I found out. I found out what happened to the infamous Brat shirt with the angle with Rip Rogers and Lanny Poffo. He just told me the other day that he lost it in the flood in his basement.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I was like, I couldn't even believe that he still had it. Like I thought it would have been gone like after that day in 1980, whatever it was, 81. Like, but I know Rip Rogers, as cheap as he is, yeah, he probably held on to everything. He probably still wore it. He didn't care that it just said Brat on it.
They show us after Robert Gibson defeats Rogers. They show us a recap of everything that went down with Mr. Wonderful last week. Then we get a promo from Hector Guerrero. He's in a neck brace. He is vowing to return to Smoky Mountain Wrestling to avenge what Paul Orndorff did to him.
See, the thing that I didn't get about Hector, the neck brace, is because he's Mexican. I just didn't believe it. I don't care that he was a babyface. I just thought that he was trying to weasel his way out of doing some work. I was like, oh, come on, man. You're going to put a Mexican out there with a neck brace. And I'm thinking he's a babyface. He's not getting sympathy. He's going to get fucking deported.
Especially in Tennessee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't care. I don't care about his ethnicity. I just don't like Hector Guerrero.
Totally. Think of all them lawns that aren't going to get cut. God. That was a perfect way to turn Hector heel.
Paul Orndorff gives us.
I'm not a big fan of Hector.
Paul Orndorff gives us an interview about. Essentially, he's talking about I'll use a pile driver if I want to use a pile driver. Like he's fucking again. This is Paul. It's not Mr. Wonderful. It's Paul. Mr. I have fucking had it. Orndorff.
Yeah, I got fuck you. He's like, I got fuck you money. I beat Hulk Hogan. I beat Ric Flair. I'll pile drive all these little motherfuckers all day, every day.
He totally said that.
Bob Armstrong comes out.
I'll grow my chest hair back. I don't give a shit. I'll go all the way back to Bill Watts time, bitch.
He could have just fucking. I mean, like literally, like he could have ran down a resume about everybody he's beaten up. Like he totally has fuck you money. You think I give a fuck? He said he's paid $2,500 a minute.
That's what I was gonna say. Bob Armstrong comes out. He is disgusted.
I haven't got the Vader and water shoes yet, motherfucker.
I know. You think I'm bad now? Wait 2 years.
Wait till I get some water socks. Sorry.
He should have pile drove Bob Armstrong. Fuck you, Bob.
Armstrong is disgusted. He will not legalize the pile driver. He's going to fine Orndorff $2,500. And then Orndorff says, I make $2,500 a minute or something. And Barb, I keep saying, I said it last time too, Aaron. Barb Armstrong. Oh, Barb Armstrong. Bob.
Grandma.
Bob Armstrong. He says, fine, I'll pile drive you 25. You do the I'll fine you every time $2,500 you do a pile driver.
I hate to use the word, but I could just picture fucking Paul when they're saying, I'll pile drive the fuck out of these niggas. Like, I don't give a fuck. $2,500. What the fuck's wrong with you, Bob Armstrong?
Listen here, Barb.
Yeah, you should have called him that. Like, fuck $2,500. I'm gonna go pile drive the whole front road just out of spite. That's what he should have fucking did. God.
Then
Orndorff is my favorite now.
my next note is Bob Caudle interviews Tim Horner, and Tim Horner stutters about wanting to be champion.
Yeah, Tommy Dreamer out there sputtering through a promo.
Little Tim Horner sat in the corner.
Dude, he's a fucking fag. God, he's the worst.
He's a worse promo than Jeff Farmer.
Where is Paul Orndorff when you need him? I couldn't Paul drive. I would have paid the $2,500 for Paul Orndorff if he would have pile drove Tim Horner.
I'm surprised Tim Horner didn't cut his promo about Motley Cruz.
No shit.
Yep.
Coming to some little tiny ass town in Missouri.
Brian Lee wants to be the champion as well. Everybody wants to be the champion. The next matchup on the show is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
My man.
Against Davey Rich.
Hey, how over was Davey Rich?
Yeah, he is. Like this crowd loves some fucking Davey Rich, man.
And I get that, but I was like, also, like, I think they gave Davey Rich too much in this match. It's like Orndorff's supposed to be this asshole is pile driving everybody. The bell should have rang. He should have kicked him in the dick and pile drove him.
dude.
And he beat him with a clothesline.
He should
I
have.
didn't like it.
It was great that when they announced Davey Rich, he got that really nice kind of like ovation, like, yeah, Davey Rich. And then as soon as Paul Orndorff comes to the ring, you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, you should have just kicked the guy right in the dick and pile drove him.
I guess Chad, my question was because this isn't too far removed from, would people in Knoxville have gotten Continental TV?
They got it like in like 2 different spurts. Yeah, they got it for a little while, and then it went off. And then it went off the air. It was gone for a while, and then it resurfaced like maybe a year later. So they got it in like 85. Then he got it again in like 87.
And that's what I was just thinking. I was thinking, maybe some of this audience, maybe he gets the polite response because some of this audience remembers Continental.
Yeah, maybe. Could be. I mean, just the fact that he was a rich, maybe.
Right. Yeah.
Either way, Nate, the riches did nothing for me. I didn't like either one of them.
No. Yeah, but you're right. Paul Orndorff should have just went out there and just fucking stumped him.
Yeah. Instead, they have kind of a back and forth match, and then Orndorff creams him with a lariat. He did cream him with that fucking lariat. I will say that. But Paul Orndorff goes over here. Bob Caudle, he's got Mr. Ron Wright with him. Ron Wright talks about how the Dirty White Boy's training. He's training by doing the things that Ron Wright did when he trained. He's running around the alleys. He's kicking old women.
He's fighting dogs.
He's fighting dogs. Just run around the alleys, fighting dogs, kicking old ladies. And I love how he says, he doesn't say, let's watch this video. He says, let's watch this VCR. Dirty White Boy.
VCR. Got it. I should have gave him my chisel.
Should have done like I did Whitey. God, Ron Wright's the best, man. I can't believe that how over he is still to this day in Knoxville. God, like if he was still around, like alive, like if they would have brought, if like SmackDown or something would have came here and brought him out, dude, he would be more over than like anybody. Like I could just bring up wrestling somewhere, anywhere, and then somebody will ask me about Ron Wright. Like he must have really lived like really close to where I'm at.
Well, that's the way it is where Aaron and I live. That's the way it is with Dick the Bruiser.
Really?
We live in Ohio, super close to the Indiana border. And yeah, like the people here, they talk about Dick the Bruiser like he's a fucking, I mean, like he's the man. Dick the Bruiser, man.
Well, the one thing about Dick the Bruiser is that he did like do shit outside of that area.
Right.
Ron Wright just kind of like wrestled like at the local armory for like 40 years. Like, and like he became that Mount Rushmore. Like there's nobody else on the Mount Rushmore of East Tennessee wrestling. It's Ron Wright.
Like our guys in this area, when like, and some of the older guys are like, you bring up wrestling too or whatever, or passing away or whatever. But like it's always been like Dick the Bruiser, Bobo. Like
Bobo
you bring
Brazilian.
wrestling up to like a 60-something-year-old, they bring up Bobo and
Wilbur Snyder.
No. And in this area, you bring up wrestling, some older guy's going to talk to you about Wojo. They'll bring up the great Wojo.
Oh my God, Wojnarowski?
Yeah.
Get out of here! I didn't think he was. I mean, I didn't realize he was like that over.
Yeah,
actually, he was an Olympian, right, or a Pan Am game guy?
Yeah, actually, Aaron might not remember it because he might have been.
He was a coach in Toledo.
Well, no, I was going to say you may or may not remember that we actually got to watch the great Wojo wrestle when we were little, because he actually wrestled at the local fairgrounds in Toledo where we grew up. And I don't know if you remember. I don't know. I can't remember your age or what my age was then, but So you may not even remember having seen him, but I remember watching the Great Wojo. But anyway, then we have where I lost myself. Okay, let's watch this VCR.
The Joey Maggs and Danny Davis cut a promo on the Heavenly Bodies and say that they'll be the tag team champions. And then Bob Caudle interviews the Heavenly Bodies and Jim Cornette. And Stanfield says,
the fat women are sexually harassing them.
Yeah, he said he's sick of these fat corn-fed women, and they need to keep their stubby fingers off of them. They're big, fat, corn-fed women with stubby fingers.
Cornette puts over fucking Stan Lane like he's like chasing, like getting all these rats and everything, and then Stanfield's talking about how fucking fat and ugly all the girls are that he don't even want to do them. Like that's the best. It's like he's like a continental lover over here, and he don't even want to bang the rats.
And of course, Tom Pritchard is doing.
I'm the continental lover, and they just want the continental breakfast.
Tom Pritchard's doing his best Roddy Piper impersonation.
Yep, he's got fleas.
That's his only thing. Like he is okay. I shouldn't say it because I'm a bigger fan of Tom Pritchard as a wrestler than I am Dick Slater. But like, if Dick Slater is like Timu Terry Funk, he's Timu Roddy Piper.
Yeah. I mean, that's been everybody. I think the whole world does. I think at some point he does it on purpose because I think everybody's told about it.
Oh, when he did the commentary in Global, he did the commentary in Global, he like 100% did Roddy Piper. Like he was just like he knew he wasn't on camera. So if somebody tuned to that station, they were going to confuse that and think that Roddy Piper was commentating on that show because when he did that commentary on Global, it was literally gimmick infringement. He was just doing Roddy Piper the whole time.
Well, you know, his school was right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Him and Kane's school is only about 30 miles away.
I thought it would be 40 miles away.
No, it's actually 33 miles away.
Your mom would say it was 40 miles.
According to me, Mom, it's 40 miles away.
La Follette from my house is exactly 33 miles away. I keep threatening to go up there.
The next match on this episode is the debut in Smoky Mountain Wrestling of Budrow, Buddy Landell against Reno Riggins. Yeah, Buddy comes out to "I'm Too Sexy" by Right Said Fred.
Right. And how much you want to bet? Because Ric Flair's got so many goddamn robes that he got so drunk one night. I bet you Buddy lifted one of them robes. There's no way that Mr. Wrestling 2's wife, Olivia, made Buddy Landell a $10,000 custom like robe like that. He no doubt went out drinking with Ric Flair one night. Ric Flair
she made all these other people these fantastic robes, and her husband went out and wrestled in his tidy whities every day.
In a sock on his head. Yeah, like they must have had a real good marriage. Olivia was a big rat, except for Johnny couldn't bang her. Budrow, man.
Yeah, and he defeats Reno Riggins with a figure 4. Does an interview with Bob Caudle where they talk about how Buddy gets a bye into the tournament. Aaron, your thoughts on this Buddy Landell segment? Anything to talk about here?
It was good. They didn't like. I would say like I like the fact that they didn't like just smash him over and just have him just cut like a complete Buddy Landell promo. Like they're slowly pushing him into there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because at this point, other than Orndorff, Buddy's probably got the potential to be, well, other than Orndorff and obviously Ron Wright, Landell's got your opportunity to just outshine every fucking other guy on the fucking show. In my
Yeah, but you
opinion.
gotta take in consideration Buddy's past. You
That's
gotta
what I was
like,
gonna say. Do you think
you gotta keep him with a short leash.
that's what I was about to say? Do you think that somebody like Jim Cornette, who's hiring Buddy, is apprehensive about strapping a rocket to him? Like, I don't know. The guy's fucking talented, but eesh.
Does he have an alarm clock? I mean, I guarantee that there had been. I know how how Cornette is. He's meticulous with his booking and all that shit. I bet you Buddy Landell's name was written in so many higher profile angles. You know, like right next to somebody else, like Paul Orndorff's name, whatever. It was like probably whoever shows up. You know, we'll do it with Buddy if Buddy shows up.
But this is an effective debut for him on the show. The next match is the tournament, the wild card tournament match. It is Dixie Dynamite against Carl Styles, and Carl Styles isn't doing bad against Dixie Dynamite.
During the match, Bob Caudle once again. We don't know where Styles has been, but we get a little bit of a glimpse into what possibly happened because Bob Caudle once again asked Dutch Mantel, "Where's Styles been, man?" And Mantel says, "Look, I don't know, but he was probably drunk."
I love how they're doing this subtle build up with the turn. I mean, you know, I haven't remember seeing it happen, but I'm sure it happens with Dutch. He's like, I taught him everything he knows, and then when he gets his ass kicked, I didn't teach him that. You know,
I taught him how to win, not to lose.
He's like choking him on the road and doing all this shit. And Dutch Mantel is telling him about how he taught him all that. He gets arm drag and drop kicked. I didn't teach him that. Like, I just love how they're doing that kind of subtly.
Well, Carl Styles starts to lose, and Dutch tries to get involved and distracts Carl Styles long enough for Dixie Dynamite to hit the Confederate kick, and then he pins him. And then after the match, there's some fucking chicanery with Mantell and Carl Styles, and he calls him a big dumb idiot.
He says, and I quote, "Well, I was telling him what to do, the moron."
He ain't never seen anybody as dumb as him, he said. And he's
like he calls them all this shit, and then they leave together. I like that. Like, they walk out together.
Where else is Carl Styles going to go? He followed him to Continental. I mean, he followed him to Memphis.
They're like a mice of men. Like eventually, he's gonna have to shoot this guy in the back of the fucking head.
The rabbits.
I mean,
and the rabbits.
He's gonna
be like, look at the rats, Carl. Look at the rats, and then he's gonna shoot him in the back of the head.
Carl Styles is the classic mice and men dude. Because I mean, like literally, Dutch took him everywhere. You know, Continental, Memphis, Smoky Mountain. I'm sure when Dutch went back to Atlanta, I'm sure he got Carl Styles. He was doing jobs there. The only place that Carl Styles didn't follow Dutch because Dutch wouldn't go to was Portland. Even Dutch says, "You go there, buddy. I ain't going to Portland." You and your dumb eye. Carl Styles, he sucks.
And then after that, Bob Caudle interviews Ron Wright, who hypes the Dirty White Boy, and then we get Caudle interviewing one of my personal favorites, Jimmy Golden, who is talking about Robert Gibson, because they're working into a Robert Gibson Jimmy Golden feud because they're going to wind up facing each other in the tournament.
Have you noticed about like so far with Jimmy Golden? Like he's been there, but he hasn't had a lot to say. Like, you know, when they've been doing like the promos, like the localized promos and stuff, or I don't know if they're localized or they're just whatever, however they are, but he's just kind of in the background. He's not getting like loud. You know what I mean? He's not.
Yeah.
He's not being like Jimmy Golden. Jimmy Golden. He's just kind of like, I'm just Jimmy Golden. I'm just hanging out, kind of thing. Like they're almost like he's almost waiting for Fuller to get there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like he's just like there.
And I want to say, like, when they did like the first little bit of it, like last month, which you didn't see, like he had some shit going on with the Koloffs and everything like that. And part of me might think that he got Jimmy Golden, and it could be completely out of left field, but I feel like maybe he got Jimmy Golden and then didn't know for sure if he was gonna get Paul Orndorff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, and then when you get Paul Orndorff, it's like, okay. Now I know I got Paul, so Jimmy Golden just kind of got
Waiting for Fuller.
edged out a little bit. Yeah.
He's totally out of place without Robert Fuller, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's just Jimmy Golden as himself. I'm telling you, I'm going to knock on his door. He's going to get I'm going to his house. I'm going to find it. Now that I know where he lives, I'm going there and find out if he still installs them water filters. Like he ain't got to go door to door selling to me. I'm going to go to his door and buy one because I want Jimmy Golden installing a water purifier in my house just so I can film and tell everybody, yeah, I got Buck here, fucking fixing my water.
And then this show
he's
ends.
one of my favorites. Like he really is one of my favorites.
He's one of mine too. I fucking love that guy, man.
It's great.
And then this show ends with Bob Caudle interviewing Brian Lee and the Fantastics.
The Gay Pride Parade.
Just talking about random fucking shows that are coming up, and don't miss Smoky Mountain Wrestling in your town or whatever. And that's how that one ends.
That's the gay. That was the Gay Pride, the gay bar advertisement guys. Jackie Fulton. There's no doubt he was a stripper at some point at a gay bar. You're not telling me anything different. Like Jackie Fulton was not a stripper at the Eagle. I know it. He looked so out of. He don't even look like a wrestler. He should be teaming up with Ben Jordan and shit, getting pile driven.
He looks like one of the. He actually looks like as far as wrestling goes, he looks like the action figure the wrestling action figure you would get at the dollar store. Like, it's not like any specific promotion or anything, you know. He's just like Bone Cruncher or something, and yeah, he's shaped like this.
Yeah,
he's shaped like this. He's got a big mullet.
He's got a little patch of hair in between his titties. Just so you know he's a man or a guy at least. Yeah, he sucks. Jackie Fulton.
No, I mean, say what you want to say, but I said last month or whatever that I didn't think Jackie Fulton was a terrible worker, in my opinion, but it is what it is. He's not Tommy Rogers. Like, I don't look at the Fultons as the Fantastics. To me, they shouldn't be called the Fantastics. They're just the Fultons, but
they're pretty decent.
They were serviceable. They were serviceable.
Oh, that's what they are. They're serviceables. It's the serviceables. They ain't coming out the sharp dress man. They're not at all.
They're the serviceables, and they have good little matches.
Yeah. Nice little arm drag by Jackie Fulton. Nice little drop kick by Jackie Fulton.
For the decent dressed men.
All right, so we'll wrap this up with April 25th, 1992, episode of Smoky Mountain. As always, Bob Caudle, Dutch Mantel, with Carl Stiles hovering in the background, introduced the show. And, the main event on this show is going to be the Heavenly Bodies against Joey Maggs and Nitro, not Nightmare. You used to know him as Nightmare.
He wrestled
in this area for a long time.
Hey, hold on. Excuse me, sir. You used to know me as Nightmare, but I'm not Nightmare anymore. I've eclipsed that part of my career. I'm no longer a Nightmare. I am now Nitro.
Yes.
And
Why?
I don't know.
Why are you
I
Nitro?
don't know because I'm tiny, and I don't know if you know this about me, and I don't know if you know this about Nitro. But Nitro comes in a small package, and I'm a small package. But when you shake it up and you really, really distress that package, it explodes. And that's what I'm going to do because I am now Nitro. I am no longer a nightmare.
Oh. How come his finishing move wasn't a small package?
Stop asking questions.
Don't ask questions. Don't ruin a good story. Don't ruin a terrible story with questions.
Yeah.
That sounds like something Bob Collar will say. Why aren't you
Excuse
wearing
me,
your
sir.
match with a small package?
Excuse me, sir.
That's weird, man.
What's your name, man? You're a weird little man.
Bob Holly defeats Bart Batten.
Mark.
Up this episode.
Oh, Bart. I wrote Mark. I don't know why I wrote Mark Batten.
Mark Batten.
Mark. Bart, Brad, and Mark Batten.
Mark Madden. He beat Mark Madden.
Are you gonna have a 6-man tag title with the Simpsons, Steve, Scott, and Homer?
Oh man.
And then Bob
my name is Steve Seuss, and I'm from South Africa, and I've been here in Smoky Mountain.
Bob Cottle interviews Barb, who gives us the Volunteer Slam brackets, which I don't know if Nate wrote down, which I'm sure he probably didn't. Well, I did because I'm a professional.
Why?
Kidding, because I wrote Mark Batten. But the tournament we're going to get at Volunteer Slam is going to be Jimmy Golden versus Robert Gibson, Tim Horner versus the Dwarf, Brian Lee versus Buddy Landell, and Dixie Dynamite versus the Dirty White Boy. Also at this show, we're going to see the finals of the Smoky Mountain Wrestling Tag Team Title Tournament, and then Bob Armstrong continues to say that Paul Orndorff better not use that pile driver, because if he does, he'll obviously be automatically disqualified and fined $2,500. And then Paul Orndorff cuts a promo saying he'll just fucking pile drive the shit out of Tim Horner if he has to. He doesn't give a fuck.
I don't know who he's like. I don't know who this Tim Horner is. He's a nobody.
That's the fucking.
He doesn't matter. Like, he's like, this guy is nothing. He doesn't matter. Who is this guy? This Tim Horner? I'm just gonna pile drive him into powder. Like Orndorff just runs down Tim Horner.
I'll pile drive little Tim Horner right in the fucking corner. I don't give a fuck about this guy.
Like, they should have used like the bleep button for that. You know what I mean?
He's gonna have to eat curds. He's gonna have to eat his curds and whey through a fucking straw. Fucking little Tim Horner. Fucking piece
Fuck
of
that little
shit.
fucking piece of shit. I mean, seriously, they should have really used the bleep button for that. Just let Paul Orndorff just go through. Like, fuck Tim Horner.
We're turning Paul Orndorff into like Stone Cold Paul Orndorff.
I was gonna say we're turning Paul Orndorff into fucking Ken Patera. Who's this fucking Tim Horner? This little fucking asshole.
Little fucking vanilla dwarf.
Piece of shit.
Piece of shit fucking asshole.
It's just the fact that he said he didn't know who he was. Like he's like Jim Cornette's like right hand man in the office with the company. And Paul Orndorff is like, I don't even know fucking who he is. Who the fuck is Tim Horner? They wrestled in Georgia together, probably Mid-South together. He didn't even know it. He's like, who the fuck is Tim Horner? Paul Orndorff's the best, man. Here.
They show localized promos about how they're coming to Beckley, West Virginia. And then we get a match. The first match we've had with him in it in a number of shows. Jimmy Golden is actually in action here against Davey Rich. And he hasn't.
Davey Rich. They called Davey Rich the hot youngster. It's like Davey Rich is the oldest youngster I've seen in a long time. Like that guy looks like he's 46.
Yeah, he'd been
Saying.
Christ. He'd already been working for 12 years by this point. Because you gotta remember, he was in the fucking Rat Patrol, like in like Mid-South in like '82.
He's the fiery youngster, Davey Rich. Jimmy Golden drop kicks the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Hits him 1, 2, 3.
Where's Paul Orndorff at when you need him? Who the fuck is Johnny Rich?
I've heard of Tommy Rich. I fucking beat him. I've heard of Tommy Rich. Beat him. I don't know who Davey Rich is. Who's this fucking idiot?
I got this stupid friend of mine that calls me every day, and we just talk about he's half retarded, and we just talk about the same shit all the time. And I always like talk about how I would book shit differently and do shit differently. I would just have Paul Orndorff now just come out every show and just like 2 or 3 times a show.
Shit on everything. Just shit on everything.
Like whether you're trying to push somebody or not, just have what the fuck is Bob Holly? Just babyface heel.
Just whispery mustache mullet motherfucker over here. Fuck him.
He's like orgasmic Larry Nelson, but he's fucking. I hate everybody. Paul Orndorff. Fuck him, Orndorff.
Bob Caudle interviews Jimmy Golden. He talks about facing Robert Gibson in the upcoming championship tournament. Robert Gibson comes out
with a lot to say.
And Golden says he'll beat up his entire family.
Yeah, I put down Golden. That's literally my note. Is like Jimmy Golden says he'll whip his whole family. I'll whip your mama. I'll whip your daddy.
I'll whip your daddy. I already beat your broken-legged brother. Like he just runs down his entire family.
He said he beat him up a couple years ago.
And in the back, Paul Orndorff's like, I like this guy.
Yeah.
He's my kind of guy.
He's my kind of guy.
Don't fuck Jimmy Gold.
Yeah, we could be wonderfully golden.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that he put over the fact that he beat up his brother a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
just so you know, Robert, I beat the shit out of your brother a couple of years ago.
The next
Smack your
matchup.
deaf mama.
Oh,
the next matchup, Brian Lee defeats Joe Kazana.
Fuck yeah.
Who looks like a fucking uncooked fucking dinner roll with pubic hair on it.
Dude, Joe Kazana is definitely in the van with Buddy Rose. Oh, him and Jimmy Del Rey, Joe Kazana's driving it.
Joe Kazana looks like an undercooked Adrian Adonis.
Dude, he's sad. What's even sadder is that's the second time I heard Joe Kazana's name mentioned today. Watching Smoky Mountain, I heard earlier today on another podcast. And I was like, fucking, I laughed when I heard it the first time. Joe Kazana.
Well, after the match, Caudle says that Brian Lee is headed to the desk to get an interview. So Dutch Mantell says, well, I'm going to leave. And Dutch Mantell hightails it. Brian Lee comes to the desk. Buddy Landell comes out to interrupt the Brian Lee interview, to which Brian Lee says that he doesn't know why Buddy Landell's out here wearing his sister's house coat. But he is going to beat it. I think they're in the tournament, right, Aaron? They're against each other.
Yes.
Yes. First round. Yes.
Hey, you didn't neither one of you guys call it the comment that Dutch Mantell when he was talking about the people at the show, like the girls were so ugly, like they couldn't even make the Tobacco magazine. He said.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I heard that. Dutch said the girls were so ugly they couldn't even make Tobacco magazine. I said, no shit.
Next segment, finally, Bob Caudle gets to the bottom of the Carl Styles mystery.
He's got Carl Styles by himself because Dutch Mantell ran away from Brian Lee. which I liked that. That was kind of cool that they're like, all right, let's get Dutch away. So now Carl Styles' stupid ass is out there. And Bob Caudle puts 2 and 2 together. He's like, hey, I got this fucking moron by himself. So he's like, Carl Styles, tell me what happened, man. And he apparently got a speeding ticket and got put in jail. And Dutch Mantel was so cheap he wouldn't bail him out. So that's where he was at. He was stuck in fucking Bexley or whatever on a speeding ticket charge, and Dutch wouldn't bail him out.
Then once Dutch catches wind of this in the back, he comes yelling out. He comes back out yelling and screaming, causing all kind of hell about it. But yeah, essentially, Carl Styles got a ticket, was in jail, and Dutch Mantel was too cheap to bail him out.
That should have been that whole segment was begging for a Paul Orndorff moment. for Bob Caudle to ask Carl Styles, where have you been? Paul looks at the game, fuck where he's been. Who the fuck is he?
Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck where he's been? And who gives a fuck who he is? Who is this fucking guy? I'll pile drive the shit out of him.
Fucking ass.
Yeah, I'll pile drive his fucking ass.
I'll pile drive his ass. He thinks he's a big guy. Now I'll pile drive his fucking ass. He'll be the same size as Reno fucking Riggins, this piece of shit.
While you're at it, tell Bob Armstrong to go fuck himself.
Go tell Big Perm to fuck off.
Here's $2,500 for you, Bob. Go fuck yourself. I'm going to drop this fucking half-ass handbag. Sam Ham and Egger on his fucking head right here for you, buddy. Who gives a fuck where you been, Carl Styles?
And then I put down in the next matchup, Bob Caudle.
He says
Bob Caudle
again.
He really emphasizes that Killer Kyle is weird, man.
Weird.
This guy.
The only word
weird.
The only word to describe this guy is weird. It's weird, man. Well, he beats Reno Riggins with a rub out.
Yeah, he rubs one off on Reno Riggins.
Oh, the next part is one of the highlights of the whole entire month, dude. Oh, it's the Ron Wright promo, right?
Yes. Bob Caudle interviews Ron Wright, and he says that the Smoky Mountain officials turned him in and got his discount medical card canceled.
Dude, why we can't play any of this on the show? I mean, God, this interview was so fucking funny. But he was just saying how cheap everybody is, and nobody's helping him, and he had more ailments this time too. I mean, it was just the best. It was Ron Wright at like his finest moment during this. His ARP card was revoked. That was fucking great.
Apparently, Bob Armstrong turned him in for faking his medical conditions and got his discount medical card revoked.
And he said none of these poor idiots out here help me out.
Send me no monies.
He calls them fucking poor idiots, and then he's wondering why they're not helping him out. None of these poor idiots are sending me any money. Like he was on fire that promo, man. That was Ron Wright at his best.
I don't think anybody could ever say that Ron Wright in Smoky Mountain isn't one of the top 10 most entertaining things in the history of the entire business of professional wrestling. It's classic. It's just fucking classic. Like we've been talking about, it just builds every week. The blanket gets bigger. The woes and the woes me's get larger, and the fucking problems get bigger, and the bitching and the moaning, and it's just so fucking good, man. What a fucking wonderful thing.
And he just expects all the fucking idiots to pay for all his shit.
Mm-hmm. I have to mention that through all his woes, he does mention that the dirty white boy is still running the alleys, kicking old men and kicking old women and punching dogs. Yeah. But yeah, he's just having a hard time, and we're all a bunch of fucking assholes for not helping him out.
My legs don't work like they used to before.
I just
got
hope
this going on, and I got that going on, and
I hope if I live to be as old as Ron Wright was, I hope I'm that way too, man. Just fucking everything, and I want Paul Orndorff pushing my wheelchair for me.
Get the fuck out of the way.
Totally. What a duo that could have been.
I don't think Paul Orndorff would fuck with Ron Wright. Like, you're a great man, sir.
He said he's going to make a donation to him, didn't he? No, that was Jimmy Golden that said that. Like when they had the promo and he was bitching about the poor people not helping.
That was during the Beckley, West Virginia promos. Yeah.
Imagine how good of a con man Ron Wright is, and he got Jimmy Golden, who's a heel, to donate money for an AARP shit. God damn, Ron Wright.
And then, of course, our main event in this show is a tag tourney match. It is not the Nightmare. He's not the Nightmare. He is Nitro.
I'm not gonna do that gimmick again.
Yeah, we won't do it again this episode. We'll probably do it again next episode, but we're wrapping this one up. But yes, Nitro, Danny Davis, and Joey Meggs versus the Heavenly Bodies. Actually, this is a pretty good match here.
Good little match. Good little match.
Yeah, good little match. Pritchard gets a good little DDT on Joey Meggs to win the match.
Well, I mean,
he gets a good little DDT, little Joey Meggs.
On little Joey Mag.
No neck. He looks like he already was a victim of Paul Orndorff's pile driver.
Used to be
with Magliano's
disease. He used to be 6 foot tall.
And then he got pile driven by Paul Orndorff.
And it gave him Maglione disease.
I don't know why Paul Orndorff don't add him to the list. I beat Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. You saw I did the Joey Magliano's neck. Just add him to the list.
All right.
Well.
So the Bodies beat them.
Yes.
And then Bob Caudle once again hypes the Beckley, West Virginia show and interviews Jim Cornette and the Heavenly Bodies, who don't like the Beckley fat women.
Oh, actually, sorry, Aaron, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I did a lot of the localized promos. I don't take notes, so when I do, I know it stuck out to me. Actually, Stanfield Lane says that Beckley, West Virginia is a puke hole.
Yeah, well. Any arguments?
No, I don't know.
Hey, but if I'm not mistaken, isn't Beckley, West Virginia, the home of the famous race riot? That
I'd have to look that up. I'm not sure.
I think that it is.
Well, it's a puke hole, so.
And I think Jimmy Del Rey was one of the main causes of that riot. Because
we'll probably get there in a couple of years.
Well, I think the whole angle stemmed from the riot started because the black guy said that Jimmy Del Rey said that or the guy said that Jimmy Del Rey called him the N-word, and then Jim Cornette said, "No, I did." and that's when
that wouldn't surprise me.
That's when the riot started. Yeah, that was. I'm pretty sure it was Beckley, West Virginia. God, what a heat-seeking town that is.
What a puke hole.
And then we end April on a. I was going to be facetious when I say this. We end April on a high note when Bob Caudle interviews Tim Horner about our new favorite guy, Paul Orndorff.
Yep.
They're going to be fighting in the tournament coming up. And the guy who, it's like, hey, Tim Horner, keep our man's name out your mouth, motherfucker. But that's what happens. And that's how we end April with little Tim Horner cutting a promo in the corner.
And April, I will say, I give April I was gonna say April 1992 in Smoky Mountain. I had a good time watching these shows. This was good shit, pal. There's not a lot of negative. There's really not. I mean, I know, the three of us do what the three of us do. We can find humor in anything, but overall, these shows are really entertaining. I don't watch any of these shows and say, "Oh God," it's not like a task. It's not a chore. I actually enjoy watching them when I'm watching them. It's been very entertaining so far.
Well, I don't like. I take wrestling as entertainment. That's what it is. And 88% of the shows that I watched for that month, I was entertained. Whether it was Ron Wright or Paul Orndorff, all the way down to even Buddy Landell, even Bob Cottle and Dutch cracked me up sometimes just with their banter.
Mm-hmm.
I just looked at it was just pure entertainment with the whole wrestling. I guess you got to put wrestling on a wrestling show, but I could have just heard Paul Orndorff cussing and Ron Wright bitching, and you know what I mean. And then and here in the background, you still got the Bullet trying to put together a a company when he's trying to make these rules, yet everybody's still breaking them, and finding people and all this other shit. It's just entertaining. It's like what a wrestler should be, the way I like it.
And just for the record, before we end the show, I had to look it up to make sure I wasn't full of shit. Magliano. That is actually Joey Mag's last name is actually Maglione. Magliono, I guess. But I just wanted to verify that it wasn't a fever dream. I wasn't full of shit. And actually,
even if he was, he's dead. He's dead.
Yeah, I was going to say, apparently he died before he turned 40. Jesus. Anyway.
Here's a little side note. He's the guy that got Bob Starr into doing jobs in WCW.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, because Joey was Joey had got heat. Joey was booking all the the job talent for TV, and he had gotten heat. He had took Bob down with him, but he had got heat, and then he stopped using Joey. So then they started using Bob to book all the job talent. So then there ended up being heat between Bob Starr and Joey Magliano. So that set the Maryland Independence on fire.
Well, that being said, Chad, Aaron, any parting words for our listeners this week? We were going to wrap this up.
Well, I mean, I got a couple of parting words, but it's just pretty much I would say it in Paul Orndorff language. Fuck.
Mine is just thanks everybody for listening. This month it was fun to get the group back together, and we're gonna do it again next month, and that'll be Volunteer Slam month. So we're gonna be getting into that big show. So looking forward to that.
There we go. Thank you everybody for listening. Continue to support the We Can't Wrestle podcast, the WrestleNet Radio Podcast Network. And we will, wherever you're listening to this show, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addict, or even on YouTube, we will see you next month for, like Aaron said, the month of May 1992 in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, including the big Volunteer Slam show. We'll see you next time around, everybody. Have a great week.